Here's the latest from the Strait of Hormuz, easily one of the world's busiest and most important maritime routes. Right now, the area is packed with ships, cargo vessels, oil tankers, LNG carriers, you name it all, making their way between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. It's especially crowded near Dubai and Fujairah in the UAE, plus Bandar Abbas over in Iran. Off the coast of Oman, you can spot clusters of tankers, a sign there's plenty of oil loading and shipping happening. Head west, and you'll notice the action continues around Qatar, Bahrain, and along the eastern shore of Saudi Arabia. All these spots play a huge role in global energy exports. So far, traffic's moving steadily. No big jams or blockages. Oil tankers keep to their lanes, and the flow of energy out to Asia and beyond hasn't skipped a beat. Given how much of the world's oil passes through here every day, even the smallest hiccup can send fuel prices and markets spinning. For now though, ships are on the move and everything's running smoothly. Still, it's clear everyone keeps a close eye on Hormuz, and for good reason. This tiny 30-mile stretch is probably the most dangerous and most powerful spot on the planet. Whoever controls it holds the world in their hands. Block it, and you risk wrecking the global economy. This spot is the Strait of Hormuz. So what makes this little strip of water so special? First off, straits are just narrow bits of sea that connect bigger bodies of water. But this one's different. Nearly 70% of Earth is covered by oceans, and almost 80% of world's trade happens out there. At any moment, about 50,000 ships are sailing around. But the thing is, crossing the oceans isn't as simple as it sounds. Geography gets in the way, and there are a handful of choke points, tight passages, where if something goes wrong, it can throw the whole world into chaos. Look at what happened in March 2021. One ship got stuck in the Suez Canal, and the world lost $10 billion in just 6 days. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. There are other famous choke points too. The Panama Canal connects the Pacific and Atlantic. The Cape of Good Hope routes ships around Africa. The Strait of Gibraltar links the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. The Danish Straits, Turkish Straits, and the Strait of Malacca each control vital trade routes. But the Strait of Hormuz, nothing else really compares. Here's why. It's the only way in and out of the Persian Gulf by sea. Every ship leaving the Persian Gulf has to squeeze through here. The Persian Gulf itself is a big deal. 8 countries line its shores: Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE, and Oman. For half of them, the Strait of Hormuz is their only way to the rest of the world by sea. And if you know anything about the Middle East, you know it's all about oil. About a third of the world's energy comes from oil cars, trains, ships, power plants, you name it. Most of that oil gets used in these areas, but oil isn't everywhere. It's mostly in a few places, like right here. These 8 countries together sit on about half of the planet's oil reserves. Half. They also have about 40% of the world's natural gas reserves. Iran alone has more natural gas than any other country, according to BP. So, the Persian Gulf is basically the world's gas station. About 15% of all the energy the world uses starts here. And honestly, there's nothing right now that can really replace it. But passing through this narrow strip is tricky. There are 8 islands in the area, 7 of them controlled by Iran. Back in 1970, Iran's military even took over 3 disputed islands that the UAE wanted. So, Iran has a tight grip on most of this territory. After dodging all these obstacles, where does the oil go? Mostly East Asia. About 3/4 of it heads to just 5 countries. China is the biggest player here. It's the world's 2nd largest economy and the top importer of petroleum. Nearly half of all China's oil imports pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Japan relies almost completely on imported energy, and around 80% of that comes through this very strait. India, the 6th largest economy, gets about 70% of its oil and half its gas from Persian Gulf countries, again, all through this route. South Korea is in the same boat. About 70% of its oil comes through Hormuz. So imagine if this 30-mile stretch got blocked for any serious length of time. The world's 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 10th biggest economies would be in big trouble. The Persian Gulf countries would lose their main source of money. The fallout? A global economic disaster. That's why people call this the world's most dangerous and important choke point. And that's why the superpowers are always watching. The United States has set up military bases all around the region: UAE, Oman, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, to keep an eye on things and make sure the oil keeps flowing. Iran, for its part, has threatened to shut down the strait if war ever breaks out. If that happened, the shockwaves would hit every corner of the globe. Some people even worry it could spark World War III. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. Got thoughts or ideas? Drop them in the comments. There's plenty more to come, so your support means a lot. Take care and see you next time.